Whew. Well, if you like saunas, you've enjoyed the last couple days. Yesterday was brutal. It got super hot. We started early in the morning. It didn't matter. It was already super humid. You were sweating launching the boat. It's mid-July. That's what we can expect here, right? So if you're looking to maybe lose a little bit of weight on the water, the last couple of days have definitely been a good time to be out there because it's just one constant, like today, sweat stream. So hopefully you stay hydrated. You stayed cool, wear the proper clothing to keep the sun off you. I've been wearing the Blackfish gear, as you know, for multiple years now. Love this stuff, keeps my body at a better temperature so I can maintain my focus all day long to catch more fish. I know I've been preaching here for a few weeks here about the deep bite. I promise it's finally here. It sounds like a broken record, and you probably maybe went out deep last week or the week before after I said some fish are moving deep and you might have struggled and you went back home and probably cursed me out. But I can tell you what I've seen the last 2 days, actually even longer than that, the last 3, maybe 4 days, is that the deep bite is starting to go. The big bite is starting to move deep. Actually our best fish right now are coming deep in terms of the bass side of things. Even northern pike and believe it or not, the walleyes as well are mixed in. Bluegills, crappies still in the weed lines, super easy to catch. I shouldn't say easy to catch, easy to find. It's not hard to find pods of bluegills on the weed line, and there's some nice ones mixed in on most of these lakes. This is that time of year where you can effectively get on a weed line and cover water, fan cast, pitch a small tube or a Mr. Twister tail, and get bit and catch plenty of bluegills to keep the whole family happy and go home with a nice meal. But in terms of the bass fishing, which is what we've really kind of focused on, we moved out deep. We flipped some weed lines. We did go up onto some shallow rock spots early in the morning when things are cooler. Cooler is relative right now because I'm telling you, it's 87 degree water temp when we start at 6 a.m. And like I said, you're already in shorts and no hoodies and wiping your brow from sweat. So we have caught some fish shallow. There is a dock bite going on most lakes if you want to concede and fish docks. I would encourage you to move out deeper, find the deep weed line, find some rock out off the weed line or rock in the deeper weeds or hard bottom in the deeper weeds. That's why I really turn to my Vexilar on the bow where I putz around on these weeds where I think there's some rock or maybe some spots I haven't seen rock. I can see that double echo. I turn my dial up to 60 feet when I might only be in 15 or 20. And the reason I do that is so I can see that double and sometimes even triple echo on my Vexilar, which tells me immediately what the hard bottom is, even when I'm in the middle of the gnarliest milfoil on the lake. So that's helped me find that hard bottom super quick and fast. So these are the spots you kind of want to key in on. And we're fishing jigs. We threw an AT jig, we threw a Grassmaster jig, both from All Terrain. I had a couple clients throwing a finesse jig, lighter weight one. They were kind of getting through the weeds a little bit, but that heavier stuff, the 3/8 ounce, even ½ ounce has been good because it can plummet right down to where those fish are. Or we're moving off the weed line and we're fishing jig worms or Ned rigs, using that Mighty Head jig from All Terrain in an 1/8 ounce, maybe 3/32 if I can, get away with it. And we're fishing either a ribbon tail worm or some type of straight tail worm, and we're just letting it soak. Ned rigs obviously catch a pile of fish. We've caught a bunch of fish on Ned rigs as well. So that seems to be the key on where we're catching and finding these fish. So we're looking at, I'd say right now you're looking at that 15 to 24 foot range is kind of our sweet spot. When I talked to you last week, it was nothing deeper than 15. It was all 6 to 8, some 8 to 14-ish stuff maybe. Now I've seen a lot of fish move out deep, and at least if you want the bigger bite. If you still want to just catch numbers, tie on a swim jig, get up into 5 to 8 feet of water and just cast. You'll have no problem catching fish. It's just, if you want that big hog for a pitcher, if you're pre-fishing for a tournament, or if you're in a tournament, we're seeing that bigger bite on the more abrupt, deeper weed edge, or even off the weeds in that coon tail, isolated rock humps, that sort of stuff. The fish have definitely made a drastic change in the last couple days. We got a pretty decent storm that came through on Friday night, so Saturday morning was a little wonky, but things stabilized really quick, and by today on Sunday the fish were doing what they're supposed to do, and I anticipate that to be the pattern this entire week. So good time of year to get out and chase some fish. I've said this before, bring the swimsuit, bring lots of water, don't be afraid to jump off the boat and take a dip. It rejuvenates your entire body. You can climb back in and get back after it and cast some more. So there's no reason to be out on the water at 1, 2 o'clock fishing if the bite's struggling. do some water sports. Select the times you fish if you can. Get out there right away in the morning, fish from sun up until 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Not only will you be happier, more comfortable, but you won't deal with as much boat traffic if you're doing it on the weekends. So maybe pick prime times. If you don't have that luxury, then go fish. Just bring lots of water, wear the appropriate clothing to keep your body cool, put on the sunscreen, put your swimsuit on, take a dip in the water to keep you cool as well. Pull up to a beach, hop out for a half an hour. Do things to keep your mental health is in check as well. So you don't realize how these hot temperatures can sneak up on your body and have an impact. So get out in front of it versus, oh man, I got a massive headache. At that point, it's too late. You know, dehydration is already kicking in. So stay ahead of it. Drink water whether you want to or not, especially in the morning. Keep your body flourished and full of water so you can have a long day of catching fish. So it's like I said, it's been a great week of catching fish. We've been using 20-pound braid, 15-20-pound braid on our spinning rods with a fluorocarbon leader, 8 to 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. People have been asking what we've been using for line. I'm not a full fluorocarbon guy on spinning rods. I won't do it. I'll use a braid, no stretch. I can feel the bite, set the hook hard, but I will put a 4-foot fluorocarbon leader on the end if I'm tying a jig worm or a Ned rig or something to that effect. Even wacky rigging, I'll put maybe go up to a 14-pound fluorocarbon leader if I'm wacky rigging. A little more, oomph on the hook set, pull them out of dock pylons, that kind of stuff. And then on my bait casting rods, I am fishing a lot of straight fluoro. Generally 12 to 17-pound test seems to be my sweet spot for flipping jigs. I do have a couple rods that I put braid on and a fluorocarbon leader. If I know I'm going to be flipping through the heavy stuff, or I could, be around, matted milfoil with rock down below, I might put a braided line on and put a 4 or 5 foot fluorocarbon leader on, 17-pound fluorocarbon leader on, and flip into that kind of stuff. Just make sure you have a powerful enough rod to handle that, because you want to blow up a rod, you can do it flipping with braid. You buckle down, think your Bill Dance, feel that bite, and you go to rip one ogre style, and you can bust a rod with braid pretty quick. So make sure you have a stout enough rod to do that. I'm using a medium heavy or a heavy action rod. I'm using a 7.6 heavy for a lot of that stuff. I can also control the bait, sweep my hook set better, all that sort of thing. And if you want to still, like I said earlier, if you want to just go out there and have a good time and catch fish, swim jig, chatterbait, that sort of stuff is getting bit, no doubt. We're just not getting the big bite on those baits right now, in my opinion. A week or two ago, yes, you saw swim jig was the king for me. Still catches fish, I'm just not getting that big bite on it. So get out there, chase some fish, have some fun. Looks like another beautiful week, mid-80s, chance for rain on and off. Well, hey, you know what? That's what we deal with, right? You throw the Blackfish rain suit in the boat and you stay comfortable and stay out there and fishing. Otherwise, it looks like mid-80s for highs all week. Beautiful week to be on the water, set some hooks, catch some giants, and make some memories. So get out there, catch some fish. We'll catch you next time.